So for the last month, I've been planning to build a gaming shelf. So I had the idea to measure every system I had and get some Bristol board, and of course Salem the cat had to lay on my Bristol board and slow down the process. Just go away. I know you're cute and all there, but shoo. So I measured every system with a little bit of excess, half inch all around, let it breathe. And of course I had different colors. And I laid them all down on the floor, and this is what I came up with. And pretty much I just connected dots and made some shelves. Let's buy some plywood. $83.93. Holy crap, shit's expensive. I have a piece of shit. What's the part number? Part number? So let's dexterize our workspace. Just figuring out how to open this bag of plastic here. Apparently it's just one simple knot. It should be easy. There you go. And just pull that out. And there's Salem in the background. Alright. The reason why I'm putting a lot of plastic is to create, keep the dust in and less dust everywhere else in the house. Alright, so we'll just plywood over. Much better. More plastic. Stapling like right in the ceiling. It's okay. I'm the one who did the drywall, so it's no big deal. No drywall was harmed in the making of this video. A lot of staples. Even wasted a few, There you go. Alright. Let's set up our cutting area. That's too low. Let's get more crates. There you go. Give a little bit of space. There, we have now a workstation. Now we're going to use some Bristol board for a template. Now we're going to figure out how to make the arch. So I clamped a piece of wood at one end, and a screw, and a long stick, and drill a hole for the marker. And just kind of made like a really big arch. And that is how you make an arch. The idea I got from a daily counter with all the glass. So when you're standing up in front of it, well, it's got like a, an arch back. That was the inspiration for this whole shelf. Put some tape down to help minus the chipping of the edge with a jigsaw. And then we'll just follow our lines. As I make weird faces, which you can see a little bit. I don't know if I'm chewing gum or trying to swallow dust. Because idiot not wearing glasses. Let this be a safety tip. Always wear safety glasses. Let's peel the tape off. Let's cut out the toe kick. Voila. And I dropped my measuring tape and I cracked it. Great. Got a piece of garbage now. Great. Wow, cheap plastic. Oh well, let's just put that on the stairs and hopefully somebody steps on it and breaks some more. Okay, now we're going to cut this. We're going to flip it over because we're going to make sure we got the nice side where we need it. You might not really notice here, but I angled the skill saw just a little bit, almost like a 15-degree angle. We're cutting the top piece. And after we're done cutting the front part, we're going to check out to see if the angle is correct and follows alongside the beginning of the arch from the top. And just checking it out here. I'd say that's pretty good. Then we just cut the back of the top board completely at a 90. I always use guides to cut with a skill saw. It helps. Makes a lot cleaner cuts. And when your clamps get in the way, well, you just kind of, move the clamp out of the way, hold your guide, and just keep on cutting, and Take your time. Look at that. Then I check it again. Can't really tell, but it's pretty good. It follows the arch. And I kept stepping on my skill saw plug and I ended up breaking it. So there's another $12 down the hole. Oh well, moving on. Back to the jigsaw. Cutting the other end of the gaming shelf. Toe kick. Now we're going to take out our old trusty Sears Craftsman radial arm saw. With some stacked dado blades. To 3/4 inch. We're going to do some grooves on each end of this board. So when it sits on top of the sideboards, well, it has a nice finished look. Here I'm doing a groove in the side pieces on the inside to connect the bottom part of the shelf. Kind of like an interlock. You'll see it more here. And of course, 3/4 inch, wide to accept the plywood for the base. Look at that. Quite the sawdust mess. And now I'm just having a, dry fit with some tape, figuring out, alright, everything should still kind of fit. Yeah, it looks good. And it's just being held by tape right now. Then I cut the two centers. Now let's start some assembly here. So drill first, and then of course countersink, and then use screw it in. All right, see the top how it just kind of overlaps. So drill. Look at that, nice countersink with screws. And I put a backing on, which I haven't seen on video, and I added some 6 casters. Rolls like a cushion dream. Now we're going to start cutting a half vertical, because we're not going to go all the way from top to bottom, just a half. According to my plan, there's a half vertical to accept the PS5 and the Xbox Series X, which we don't have yet. How am I going to support that and screw it in? Oh, we'll just lay it down. Simple. And just to hold it in place, make sure it's level. And then I put 2 little clamps to help it, stay level. And boom. Then I added started installing some drawer slides, all ball bearings. And I started cutting the drawer fronts for every drawer. Technically it's actually a plate. The drawer front is just like to create a handle. And it also acts as a bumper so you don't yank your system right off the shelf. And then we just cut the remaining shelves and the big reveal. Wow. Isn't she a beauty? Took 3 days to build that. Wow. Now we're just gonna give you a nice close-up look. There's the Atari 2600 in television, 2 Wii's, GameCube, Nintendo Junior, 3DO, FZ10, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 1, Sega Dreamcast. I'm Batman! I'm Batman again! Xbox Original, PlayStation 2, Panasonic Stereo, the AK-77, that sounds terrible, FZ1, the Panasonic 3DO, regular Nintendo, Super Slim PS3, Sega Genesis Model 2, Sega Genesis Model 1, Switch, 2 controllers, one for the 64 and one for the Switch, Jurassic Park, Sonic 2, Conker's Bad Fur Day and the N64, the No Thumb Thumb controller, Super Nintendo Junior, Super Nintendo regular, and then we got the Xbox 360E, the PS4, Xbox 360 original with a different front, PS3 fat. Look at that. We'll just stand back and admire. Wow. Even with a Commodore VIC-20 in the bottom and a disk drive. And this was the point of Hull having it on drawer slides so you can access the wires right in the back. Kind of a bird's nest in there, but let's skip that. Some old joysticks. And of course, PS3, it's got its own little spot. Gotta clean that up, a little bit of sawdust. Regular Nintendo. Apparently it's got a light gun for the Sega back there. I just found a spot to put it in. And there you go. Place for the GameCube, Nintendo, Panasonic 3DO FZ10. And some random knickknacks. Just have a home. The Atari 2600 and of course the PS3 Slim. A lot of room to access for the wires. PS2, PS1, Sega Dreamcast, all the random things, and Batman. Fully extends right out. Makes plugging systems so much easier. Eventually I will be installing some HDMI connectors in the back of the wall and some AV adapters just to clean up all the mess of the wires. And have 2 selector switchboards. Or maybe 3 at one point. It's a lot of systems. And they all work. And of course you got the top. Oh, look at that. Well, thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe.